What's going on, family? It's your man, Big Sam, here with the Crew 412 and the 411. This is the Artist Series. I'm here with my man, Charles E. Timbers, a.k.a. Mr. Chuck Timbers, a.k.a. Mr. The Voice. What's going on?
What's up, Sam?
I was about to say give it up for Chuck Timbers like y'all here. But if you're watching, you can clap wherever you at. I don't even care if you're at work. Just give us a little golf clap. What's going on, man? How you been?
I've been all right. I'm blessed, man.
Cool. So let's get into it, man. How long have you been doing theater?
Man, well, I go all the way back to high school, a long time ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, just a couple years ago. I played Smaug the Dragon in The Hobbit.
You took it back to The Hobbit.
To The Hobbit,
Okay.
man. And I got the bug then, man. I took that paper mache dragon off. They had a big dragon that they had built over me, and it had silver on it. We had fire extinguishers inside there that would press for the smoke. And when I took it off and took my bow, it was like this exhilarating feeling, dude. You
Right.
know, the audience there, and I was like, oh, I think I can do this.
Dig it.
Yeah, and then my first professional play was back in 1986.
Okay, tell us about that.
1986, I did Amos Behavin'.
Okay.
And it was produced by Jetpool Productions, and we ran for 6 months down at Harper's Jazz Supper Club downtown in the Oxford building. Myself, Lovey Green, who is no longer with us, Tony Dixon, a lady named Pam Giddens, and Maggie Stewart from Channel 2 Pittsburgh Today show.
Okay.
And we actually ran for 6 months. And that was my first professional stage gig. But I did do a movie back in 1978, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Not that I was, watched it when it first came out.
You was rather
But-
young then.
Yeah,
wasn't
might
you?
have been you I'm talking about.
But I remember that, the title of that movie. I remember that.
Yeah.
So now you said Smaug, right?
Mhm.
What got you into doing that to begin with?
Got me into doing acting?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Growing up, man, I don't know whether you did it, but I would always stand in front of the mirror and emulate and imitate people. And, I always wanted to be on TV. Now, I'm 66. And so back then when TV, we had the old little black and white TV, and you would see people on TV, but you never see anybody look like us.
Right.
And I would always say, I can do that. I wish I can do that. But my parents didn't really encourage me, and I would stand in front of the mirror and do those things. And then when I got old enough, someone said, just go ahead and try it. And of course, when you try out for your first play, you're really nervous. You go to your voice stammers and stutters and your leg shakes. But after a while, I said, I want to do this. I wanted to do it as a profession, but my parents weren't having it.
Right.
They said, you're going to go to school and get a quote-unquote legitimate profession.
Right.
So I wound up going to school for nursing and got a scholarship, so that was in my destiny, I guess.
Nice.
And after I left Harper's, Kuntu Theater was the big theater here in the city of Pittsburgh, and Dr. Lilly, and that was the premier theater, and I didn't think I was good enough. And someone was saying, you ought to go try out for Kuntu, and I just felt really intimidated because the people that acted for Kuntu back then, I mean, they were well-known people. And so I just took a chance and tried out. And Dr. Lilly had written a play called The Crawford Grill Presents Billie Holiday. And I remember going into the audition, and Jazz Hall of Famer Pete Henderson was there, and Spencer Bay, jazz pianist, was there. And I sang this old-fashioned song, More Than the Greatest Love, More Than the Greatest Love the World is. And as I sang the song, Pete said to Dr. Lilly, there goes your Billy Eckstein right there. And that was, the rest is history.
That's what's up.
The rest is history, yeah.
That's what's up, man. Let me ask you this, because you said that you didn't feel like you had what it takes to perform with those other people. What do you feel like is the reason for that? Because I think a lot of people will probably do more with acting or whatever it might be if they felt confident enough in it. What do you think is, causing that fear in people?
I don't know whether it's self-esteem or what. Believe it or not, I was sort of an introverted person back then. I didn't like crowds. I would avoid crowds. I remember going to high school, man. I would go out of my way just to keep from going through a crowd.
Why?
Well, it was self-esteem. You know,
Okay.
like I just had lack of self-esteem. I was skinny as a rail, not like I am now. You know,
Right.
you blow and I would blow away back then. But I don't know why I was just real quiet and, I just felt different. You know, but with Dr. Lilly and them, I just didn't feel that I was good enough because I went to see some of their plays, and even though I wanted to do it, I was like, oh wow, they are really great. I don't know whether I can, you know, reach those standards. But I'm a more outgoing person now. I'm more confident in who I am. And that's a result of working with a lot of great actors and directors and people such as Dr. Lilly, Mark Clayton Suthers, Eileen Morse, actually pushing me, and helping to bring out the best in me.
People pushed you. How do you think that actually helped? Because some people, when they're going through it, they don't like it.
It's an uncomfortable feeling.
They get home and be like, I can't believe he said this, or I can't believe she said that, blah, 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 blah. But once you go through it, it's like you see something different. Talk about that a little
You
bit.
start evolving. I remember me and Dr. Lilly used to butt heads all the time. I walked out of a rehearsal one time and said, I quit.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, she was grilling me, and I said, I'm not going to take this. Who do you think you talking to? And I
Right.
walked out of rehearsal, and she called me on the phone that night. We talked, and I sort of understood what she was saying. Like she was just trying to get me to bring out what she seen inside me that I was holding back, and I have a lot of respect for her. I love her like a mom, and she, like I said, she helped me to develop into, I think, the actor that I am today.
Nice. So, just speaking to up and coming actors or just younger people, the younger generation, or anybody for that matter, if you had to speak to them to tell them how to overcome, those fears and those lack of self-esteem issues and stuff like that, what would you say to those people?
First of all, I'd say if they have that desire and motivation in their heart, and to follow their dreams, don't let nobody discourage them. You're always going to run into people that aren't going to always give you positive feedback, but there's, nothing beats a failure but a try. You see what I'm saying? And don't get too cocky where you think you know everything. Like you can always learn. I'm still learning, and I've been doing this a long time. But I just encourage them to, just press forward and follow their heart's desire. And if they want to be an actor, be an actor. You want to be a singer, be a singer. Now, there's some people that can't sing,
Right.
but they have to be strong enough to realize that,
Working your gifts, huh?
right, and be able to take constructive criticism. Unfortunately, I've run into some of my fellow thespians. They get insulted when people try to give them advice. They think, they know everything, but
Right.
I'm not that type of person. I welcome constructive criticism, anything that's going to improve me, my craft.
Okay, I'm all about that 'cause I feel the same way, man. I just need to get better overall. So, who are some of your inspirations as far as theater and acting?
Some of my inspirations as far as theater and acting, on a local level, I mentioned several of them. Dr. Lilly, Mark Clayton Suthers. Mark's going to be like, one of these days, probably when I'm old and gray, maybe even dead, they're going to be talking about Mark like they talk about August Wilson. My personal opinion, I think he's a genius. Wally Jamal, Kevin Brown, the people that I work with. On the big scale, Morgan Freeman, and older actors like that, because, I look at my age, and sometimes I think, oh, Chuck, give it up, man. You might not make it there, but never give up. It's never too late, man.
Right.
Never too late.
No, you mentioned August Wilson, and right now, not to say August Wilson is hot right now, because I think a lot of people might be like, August Wilson has always been hot. It's just a lot of people haven't been on it like that. Talk about the influence he's had on your career.
Well, I've done a couple of August Wilson plays, and I just liked his insight and the reality of his plays, where he was telling a story about real life. I did Ma Rainey's Black Bottom 4 times, and always came to see it the first time that we did it at Mark's old theater up on Penn Avenue in Garfield, and he came up to me and he actually said to me, "Good job. I like the way you interpreted that character of Cutler." Most recent, I did it up in Columbus, Ohio, and to my surprise, and I had no idea, but I won what is that, Actor of the Year for my role as Cutler. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with that you would like to, regardless if it's on a local or, you know,
You know what my
Hollywood?
goal is now? You know, I've done a lot of theater here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed here in Pittsburgh by choice. You know, I did leave Pittsburgh years ago, and I went to California to try to break into the business. But I'm a very family-oriented individual, and things were starting to happen while I was in California, and I was going out on gigs, but my mom got sick, and I came back here to Pittsburgh, and I wound up staying. And now I have a little sister that's special, and so that's why I'm here in Pittsburgh. I could leave because I'm single. You know, I'm a nurse practitioner. I can go anywhere in the country and work and get a job, but I just choose here to stay here in Pittsburgh. So people that I want to work with, Denzel Washington.
Dig it.
You know, I understand he's going to be doing some more of August's movies here in the city, and I'm just hoping I get the opportunity to work with him. Like when they did Fences, I happened to be in Ohio doing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom at the time. I got a chance to meet Will Smith.
Okay.
You talking about destiny. I prayed that up because I kept praying. Every morning I get up, I say, I give myself positive affirmations, and I start calling into existence what I want.
Right.
And I don't like doing extra work anymore, but I happened to go over there, and I was on the set when they was doing Concussion, and the director Peter was walking around St. Benedict Moore Church, just looking around, and I'm just standing there with Stevie Akers and Kevin in there, and he came over to me. He said, "You come here." He said, "I want you to sit right here." And I'm like, wow. So I'm sitting there, and I'm wondering, well, what am I getting ready to do? And guess who came up and sat beside me? Will Smith.
Wow.
And we sat beside each other for almost 2.5, 3 hours on and off. And I was talking to him like I'm talking to you. He was such a down-to-earth brother. And I had asked him, I said, "Do you think it's too late for me? I'm da-da-da." He said, "No, brother, don't you ever get that in your head." He said, "You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing." And that was like a highlight.
Right.
To sit there and talk to him and him to give me that type of encouragement. He joked with me and called me Barry White. He's a clown. He started walking around the church. "Hey, y'all, we got Barry White in the house."
You do know Barry White was a little darker than you, right? You might be his brother, Barry Light or something like that.
What I would like to do next is do some voiceover, man.
Okay.
Do some voiceover. I've taken some voiceover classes, and I'd like to break into that field.
Listen, some of y'all out there who y'all ain't did nothing, y'all might need to get y'all foot in the door by doing some of that extra work. Listen, Chuck been in the game a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Being
He
in
paid
the
his
right,
dues.
being in the right place,
Right.
the right time, and acting, theater, or even movies, you might be excellent at what you do, but you might not have that right look.
Right.
You might, your eyebrows might not be bushy enough, or like I was recently thinking to myself, that's why I want to lose this weight. I said, I think I'm handsome. I think I can play a good role.
Security.
But don't know. Don't nobody want nobody with a real big belly,
Right.
man. So like I said, let me lose this belly. Maybe I'll get some roles. Because I have an agent here in the city, but I go on these auditions. But then when you see yourself on camera, dude.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm trying to lose these roles so I can get some other roles. So look, like I think we spoke about it before, but in closing, I want you to just give people just some type of word of encouragement, like how you said Will Smith gave you. What would it be? Somebody trying to get into the business, or even if it's just life?
First of all, you have to just take that chance and step out on faith. There's always the possibility of rejection, but you can't take that personal. Just keep trying, keep plugging away, and eventually you may get your big break. But the thing of it is we are the creators of our own destiny by the choices that we make. If you make a choice, say, "I'm not going to go and do this," then
Right.
you're really pushing yourself out of an opportunity that might come. But go for it, especially young people. You know, oh man, if I could turn back the hands of time and know what I know now.
Right.
Yeah.
Eat the game up, huh?
Yeah, look, I mean, look at what we have, man. Carter Redwood. I remember he was a little boy. You know, like, I am so proud of that brother. You know, I tape all the TV shows that he's on. Nathan James. You know,
Shout out to Carter and Nate.
yeah, shout out to Carter and Nate.
Right.
I am very proud of those brothers. But, you know, they're a prime example of what you can do if you have the, stamina
Right.
and you have the will to go out and do it.
Okay.
Follow your dreams.
Well, listen, y'all. Y'all heard what he said. Follow your dreams. Shoot your shot, man. Don't let nobody shut you down. If they talking bad about you, keep plugging. People always gonna talk bad about you. They talk bad about Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And ain't none of us on that level. But I like what you said as far as, you know, setting up your own destiny and like trying to attract positive things to you. I think that's dope because I don't think a lot of people do that. They get stuck on so much negativity that negativity that they have pushes things away.
And then you got to surround yourself with positive people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I do with you.
Well, like I do with you, man.
I
you know,
appreciate that,
yeah,
man.
Sam. Yeah, you blew my mind when I heard you singing that day.
Don't tell nobody about that. Listen, we gonna end that right there because that ain't none of his business. Ain't none of your business. So, like I said, this is my man Chuck. Definitely appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you,
Definitely
man. I
appreciate
you guys coming by.
So, folks, this is my guy Chuck Timbers. I'm your man Big Sam with the Crew 412, giving you the 411. And we out. You know, hit us up. Y'all gonna see all the little stuff that we put up. Get at us, man. We talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Give them the deuces.